So, Andre, stage builder. That's a thing now, huh?
What? What do you mean, Derek? What? When was this announced?
Haven't you seen their latest commercial? Apparently, it's Nintendo Switch My Way, and their way used to leak a new aspect of the game without even actually showing anything.
Yeah, this is the weirdest direct ever, man.
Yeah, exactly. Only 30 seconds long and only one frame of what we're actually talking about. So, yes, we have Stage Builder coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, likely as part of the 3.0 update, and completely by accident on Nintendo. There's no way this was intentional because it's tucked in the corner, kind of hazy, not exactly something you'd gravitate towards right away, unless you're people on the internet who want to pore over every little thing or happen to notice, like, that menu looks a little different.
Yeah, I also agree. I think it's completely unintentional. Granted, it's not hard to see when you know what to look for. So I think what happened here is because obviously with ads like this, there are a ton of eyes on it. But what I think actually happened is the people responsible for like overseeing the ad who are familiar with the, Smash as a game, like from the Treehouse, for instance, they've probably been looking at the menu for so long that the fact that it appeared in the background didn't even register as the fact that it shouldn't be there. Because it is kind of like, it's not super prominent, even though it is pretty easy to make out when you know it's there. So I think the fact that they've been looking at it for probably a few months now, if not, at least a few weeks, if not a few months, they probably just didn't even register it as it being something that shouldn't be out there yet.
Yeah, that's completely feasible because, we can say that from experience. We'll be working on something and looking at the same image over and over and over again. It just stops registering. It's because it's there. It's supposed to be there. There's nothing wrong. And whoops.
Yeah, because for clarification's sake, we saw some people online being like, did Nintendo leak this on purpose? Like, is this their way of announcing it? And no, it's not.
No, it's
pretty sure
not.
They did not mean. Yeah, they did not mean for this to be out there quite yet.
They're gonna hype this in the proper way, but the advantage of us seeing this early and now knowing it, because they did tease 2 new modes coming with the 3.0 update, and a lot of speculation was that one of them was going to be the stage builder. Well, we can now talk about what we actually want from the stage builder. So I know you actually have quite a few ideas, Andre, because you always do.
Oh, you know it. So, first off, I want the stage builder to be good this time.
You don't say.
Yeah, right? So Brawl wasn't bad for like an initial effort. It worked for what it was. It wasn't terrible. Then the Wii U comes along and adds some things and takes away some things. So it wasn't really like a net gain so much as it was like a sideways step. And I actually did like it work. I did like it less compared to the original for some reason. Or for a few reasons, I think. So yeah, I've got some ideas for how they can actually improve it. And number one is, I guess before I get to my specifics, they have to make it less generic. That's the main issue. In the original game, in Brawl, there were only 3 backgrounds. I think Wii U added 2 more, so there were 5 in total. And all 5 of which just looked super generic. They looked like, you had like a sky, you had like a volcano, which is probably the coolest one of them, honestly. You had like maybe like a grassy field. I can't even remember. They all look like New Super Mario Bros. Wii backgrounds to me.
Yeah, there's just no personality to them, and it just wasn't exciting to make a stage. You had basic-looking cannons, not even barrels from Donkey Kong. You had basic spikes and lava flows and stuff like that. It just, nothing felt cool, and that's the thing when you're making a stage for Smash Brothers. You want to make something cool, and it's kind of impossible. It just doesn't look that great at any point. So yeah, I might have spent 5 minutes total between both of the builders in both Brawl and Wii U, and it just never interested me. So on a surface level, seeing that Stage Builder is back, it's not like, yes, this is what I want, this is great. It's like, I hope it's good.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping for the best, expecting the same, but hopefully there's a little bit more effort in this.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. No matter what, having a stage builder in any form is a very good thing. It's always good to have more options. I myself have wanted a stage builder back, even if it does ultimately disappoint me. It's just good to have more things, and hey, plus, people can finally recreate those or try to recreate maybe, those final missing stages from the game. Like the, 12 that are left that aren't in the game, or 7, whatever tiny amount it was. Although I do like the idea that, with 103 stages already in the game, do we really even need more?
That's a good point, because even with the 3.0 update, which Joker is likely going to be part of, there's no doubt in my mind that this is all coming out at the same time, Joker comes with another stage, so...
Yeah, like 104 now then, right?
Right.
So... there's already so many that I know, like, most of them I've only played on a handful of times. Granted, in this game, we've all played them before, or most of them in previous Smash Brothers games. But still, there's a lot of content there. There's gonna be even more now with the stage creator. But yeah, it's still exciting, and I know a lot of people wanted this. As I said before, I myself wanted it as well, and I really am hoping for some major improvements here. So I guess I'll start getting into them right away. As I kind of already touched on, we need more backgrounds. 3 in Brawl, the 5 in Wii U, it's not enough, we need more, and ideally, not super generic ones. So here's my thought, Derek. They already have basically background versions of every stage, thanks to the Final Destination and Battlefield forums, where the platforms, where the background is literally just a background, it's not interactive in any way, it just exists as a cool backdrop. Let us use any of those. Why can't, that would be 103 backgrounds right there, basically, that we can mix and match, to our heart's content to whatever foreground we want.
That makes complete sense, and is definitely one of the things that I wanted as well, because this is a Smash Brothers game. It's a crossover game. You want to work within that crossover. So yes, I want to have a background where it's, Mega Man or Castlevania or Mario or named franchise here, and do something more with it. And I'm going to go a little bit further, probably one of yours as well, and just say, let us use the elements from those stages as well. Like, yes, let's have a Castlevania background, but Yellow Devil can show up, or you're using building materials from Sonic or something like that. Mix and match in the craziest, silliest ways, and let's go nuts, because that's the fun of Smash Brothers, is just seeing how all these franchises interact, and to be able to actually do that and see them mix and match, that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of Smash. You have all these different properties, characters, and stages coming together into a single game. And it's fun to see, these random elements kind of tossed together into like a blender. And when you have the generic stages of the stage builder, it kind of takes away from that. And also has the effect of making every stage builder stage kind of feel the same, even if they aren't. It's just because they all look so samey, it's just not that exciting to play on and see what people have created. So it would be really cool to have, to mix and match, beyond just the backgrounds, the asset elements you mentioned. So yeah, one of my ideas is, specifically, I want a toy box. I mentioned this before, so this isn't really anything new. I want a toy box that features a ton of characters or specifically assets from existing stages, such as Wispy Woods, for instance. Why not add, let me add 20 Wispy Woods to a stage if I want. They have all these crazy, crosswind directions. Let me add the giant windmill from the Sonic Lost World stage. So full disclosure, we actually tried to record this before, and you had the idea, Derek, of why not throw the Wispy Woods onto the windmill, so it's just kind of blowing itself around, creating all kinds of crazy wind gusts. And how about, we can bring in other elements too, like you can have the checkpoint from the Green Hill stage as a random element, or why not throw in random F-Zero cars that just kind of dart across the stage at complete random.
Mm-hmm. Or, what's that one stage, the PictoChat stage, have those drawings show up in other stages or something like that, if that's possible.
I mean, I guess the idea with having a toy box, not every element could work in every version of a stage, but they could add elements that they did design to be reworked in the stage builder. So I don't need a ton, just give me some stuff to work with, some non-generic elements beyond just spikes or lava that we can use that evoke other franchises.
Absolutely, just something to give these stages personality, and I think that's what people really want, because as you said, we're going to have 104 stages. We have a ton of variety. People have creativity. We see that with Mario Maker. Let them use that creativity beyond basic stuff that just isn't exciting or interesting.
Right. As part of that too, I think in Smash Brothers Wii U, I believe they gave you, 5 texture sets to choose between each different theme, and I think they could expand that. Instead of locking those textures to the theme, to the background style you choose, let's mix and match those as well. So give us maybe a few more texture sets, and let's use them in any of the backgrounds, which they go with the Final Destination idea where we have access to any of the background stages. Hopefully that would be the case. So it'd be cool to have if you could have Zelda textures in the Mario world, for instance, or as you said, Castlevania textures in a, Pikmin, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
Go nuts. Yeah.
So there's all kinds of fun things you could really do with that, and maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like it'd be relatively simple.
I would think, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a programmer, but sure, make it happen.
Yeah.
I come up with the ideas, Nintendo just needs to make them happen, please.
Perfect.
Okay, here's another one. I want the editor itself to be better because I wasn't a huge fan of how it worked on the Wii U, where you actually like drew the physical shapes of the stage. It'd be cool to keep that as an option, when using the Switch in handheld form, for instance. Otherwise, I liked how it worked in Brawl, where it was a tile-based editor, similar to how it was in Mario Maker. So I think they would have to bring that back, just because obviously you'll be designing stages on the TV as well in docked form. So maybe they found like a middle ground where you can use either or. I think that would be ideal.
I mean, I hope they take the lessons they've learned from Mario Maker. Obviously, they're different teams, but I'm sure they could be inspired by it and just find ways to just have like a tile-based system. Like, okay, here's your element that you're working with, drag it across here, and it automatically forms to create a stage, and you can kind of go from there. And I think that makes a lot more sense. It's a lot more elegant and makes the stages that much easier to create.
Absolutely. Moving on, getting back to the toy box idea, or as a possibly related idea, I think it'd be cool if they let you reuse or use assist trophies or items in a whole new way. Make those part of the level. Maybe that's how that could be the solution to the toy box. Just let us put like items or assist trophies wherever we want in the level. Maybe we can section off, like draw parameters for where that assist trophy can go. So if you want to have like a little Waluigi corner, you can. Just a Waluigi that won't leave the little area, and if you go over there, you're asking for death by Waluigi. You can add like a Nabbit to the other side of the stage. Well, I guess it's a stage hazard, but you see what I'm saying. Or exactly. If you want to add like a whole bunch of Hammer Brothers to like the top of the stage, there's like hammers raining down everywhere, you could do that. Or if you want to go in the IM route, if you want to have like launch stars lying at the bottom of the stage, you could do that too. I think there's a lot of possibilities for reusing existing assets in new ways that the game currently doesn't do.
There's all kinds of really fun possibilities if we're just given full access to what this is going to be able to do. Now, do I think we're actually going to get that? Probably not, but because I can't see them using assist trophies as bosses. But I still like the idea of being able to do something like that, and maybe actually be able to put Dracula into a stage and have him be a stage hazard in the same way as the Yellow Devil. It'd be annoying, but it'd still be kind of fun to have him show up all of a sudden. And
isn't the whole point of the stage creator to be as annoying as possible?
Exactly.
To make as annoying a stage as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you can create stages from before, create your own ideas, adapt stages from games that just didn't make it in, or even like take sections of huge stages like Palatata's Temple and just take a section that you actually really do enjoy, use the elements from that, recreate it, and have a smaller stage to work with.
Yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea. Well, speaking of which, it'd be really cool if you could import existing stages and modify them from there.
Right.
Whether it's, redesigning elements or adding hazards, I don't know. I think there's a lot they could do with that. So as kind of maybe part of that, I think something else that would be neat is if you could modify like more universal elements, like things like the gravity. So how in I don't think that was a feature before. So how in like the Ice Climber stage, when you're falling down, the gravity is lessened because you're falling. Mm-hmm. It'd be neat if you could do that. If you could adjust that on a per custom stage basis. So if you want to make a stage like where you're on the moon, you totally can, where you jump like 3 times as high, or you could have a stage where you have increased gravity, for instance. Or maybe you could add other different like elemental features like rain or water in some way. Water is a big part of the game in some stages, so why not let us add that anywhere we want?
Yeah, exactly. It could get swept away into the ocean, kind of like how we have that water that rushes down in the Distant Planet stage, and you can sort of resist that, and you can end up in the water and maybe put one of the fish from Balloon Trip in there. So make a hazard.
That would be an awesome hazard. Oh, we could add the balloon fish, the balloon fight fish. Oh, that'd be so good.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's like, if you give us the tools to make these stages, they can be so much cooler than just, okay, here's this element, and hey, you can use this hazard. Thanks.
That kind of reminds me of something else that I hope they retain, I suppose, that they added to Smash Bros. Wii U in an update. And that's the fact that this editor really is better, or it doesn't matter if it's better or not, even if it's the same, they have to bring back the ability to share stages. Otherwise, what's the point? I want to be able to play on other people's stages. I want to be able to share my own stages with people. It'd be cool if they added like a whole online section where all you do is play on custom created stages, probably terrible ones, but it'd still be fun. So, I mean, I hope they add that, and also hope they add the ability to give feedback on stages. Even though there's no Miiverse now, let us leave comments on stages, or at the very least like stages. Let the cream rise to the top. Just give us some way of giving feedback on these things. Mm-hmm. So make it more social. Make creating stages more social.
Yeah, exactly. If there was a ranking system for likes and like, hey, this is this stage, and you can find some really unique ones, and just see it rise to the top. I think that would be a lot better for the cultivation and just really finding some great ones, and also just highlight, hey, look how popular Stage Builder is. Look at what our fans are coming up with, and that's just easy advertising for that kind of thing.
All right, well, of course, with us being a stage creator, as I said, a lot of people are going to be making stages as annoying as possible. As part of this, 8-player Smash has to be compatible with this. It wasn't in Wii U. It needs to be now. I need 8 players in all these stages.
I mean, I think it will be just because 8-player Smash is available on all the stages anyway, so yeah. I'm sure it'll get added in. I'm not too worried about that.
I think it's probably a safe bet. So, whereas in Wii U, it was actually a pretty limited selection of stages for 8-player Smash. Yeah. So, I think that covers it for most of my ideas, Derek.
Yeah.
What do you think? If they added all those, do you think that would actually make Stage Builder worth playing on? Or worth building with, I should say?
Yeah, I think so. I don't expect all of your suggestions to make it in, but at the very least, if we get the backgrounds and some of the elements from the stages, not even all of them, just something to work with that are actually from games, I think it'll make it that much better and that much more fun. And then maybe they can expand upon it as time goes along. Like, this is the base set, but here, update version 4.0. Here's these new elements for the Stage Builder, and just keep making it better and better.
That'd be cool.
But just a starting point of the backgrounds and some of the elements from the stages. Please, make it just so much more worthwhile.
You know what we need, Derek? We need to be able to use Pokemon models as giant balloons. That way we can recreate Pokefloats finally, right?
Yep, and then be able to actually create moving stages. Oh boy, wouldn't that be something?
Oh man, that'd be chaos. That'd be pure chaos. So.
Totally, but hey, I'd be down for it. But yeah, so now we have at least an idea of what some of the 3.0 update is going to be. And actually, we got most of it now. We got Joker, we got one of the new modes. The other mode has been rumored to be a home run contest. That seems to make sense to me.
I think that's the obvious one. I mean, I think really these two are the ones we were expecting. Stage Builder and Home Run Contest. I would love to be wrong, though, because while I know a lot of people want a Home Run Contest, I'm kind of over it. Like, I've played it enough over the years, and yeah, there'll be new characters to play with, and it's a very easy addition, so it's probably coming no matter what. But what I personally would want myself is bring back Smash Run. That mode actually legitimately had massive potential, and the 3DS didn't fully live up to it, but I think they could deliver that potential on the Switch. Make it online, let's all play in the same world, all competing for the same, the same power-ups or whatever, and then give us like a few challenges at the end, instead of just the one, and make it feel more like an Olympic event, for instance. So
yeah,
or Olympic series of events, I should say.
Hopefully in the future, I don't see them doing too big updates. Like, it makes sense to have something simple like a home run contest and something a little bit more complex, hopefully with Stage Builder. But yeah, again, for a 4.0 update, getting Smash Run, yes please. That sounds really great.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I do think it will be home run contest. So.
Yep. And maybe a few new spirits to go along with Joker, or maybe even some other franchises. So.
Oh yeah, I think more spirits is a no-brainer. That's definitely happening. That's like the easiest thing in the world they can add. And then you have to think anything else they could add, like any other options or tweaks they could make to the game beyond like general balancing.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. I mean, just a new character, a new stage, and 2 new modes. That seems like a pretty massive update as is.
Yeah, it's not bad. So, and being able to add these, being able to create new stages will add a fair amount of replayability to the game, assuming the editor is up to the task. So,
yep, exactly. We'll have to see whenever it comes out, sometime this month. Hard to say when, but we should hopefully see it soon. But I guess until then, thank you guys for watching, and of course be sure to subscribe to GameXplain for more on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and other things gaming as well. Until next time, bye.